Over the years, we've installed CCTV in a multitude of places, from caravan parks to office blocks, detached houses, you name it, we've probably done it. But do you know when the best time to install CCTV is? Well, this is when a house is undergoing renovation. This house is absolutely empty and completely gutted, and it's a perfect time for us to install CCTV. Today, we've got four 4K black 8 megapixel heat vision cameras to fit. I'm starting a bit later than I normally would, so I've got to really crack on, but let me quickly show you what the job entails. We've got a cable coming underneath flooring here and then out through the hole that's over there. We've then got to pull some of the flooring along this landing so that we can gain access to cables that need to run back this way. We've got a cable branching off which is going outside that way and a cable going underneath that shower tray. The customer's not that bothered about the bathroom because it's all being ripped out anyway, so if we need to chop and change anything or take anything out, as long as we're doing it in a neatish fashion, he's not that bothered. Then the final camera is just going in this back bedroom in this corner, so again cabling will come straight out and then to the camera at the back there. To send the cables back to the recorder, they're going up into the loft, so we'll create a small little chase here in the wall. We'll just cut the plasterboard out and then neatly tuck the cables behind so that when it does get re-plasterboarded and then plastered on top and painted, it's never seen. I think there's a cupboard going here anyway, but I'll crack on with that first so that we've got our definitive route on how the cables are getting back to the recorder. So there we have it, we have our route. Down there I just need to create a hole in the floor so that the cables can drop down underneath the floor. But up there, there's a hole into the loft, which means that the cables can feed through the loft, all the way down, under the floor, and then they'll just branch off to where they're going. I'm going to start by pulling the two out that need to go to, there's a HDMI extender going to a telly underneath here. And there's also a HDMI extender going to a telly here, but we're just going to leave that. Just going to leave that above the ceiling up there, so the electrician can pull that down when he pulls all these sockets down, because he's got a bank of sockets and brush plates to go in for the customer. So we'll leave the HDMI extender coiled for that one up there, and then down here we'll coil a HDMI cable. It's not a HDMI cable, we're doing Cat5 over HDMI extenders. We've used them before for like bars and clubs and petrol stations, and it just means that you can split off the signal in several different ways for the HDMIs. Right, let's get some cable on the go. That's the most important thing when networking. Label cables. It's not the best for taping, is it? Hiya.
Hey Pete, I'm here.
What, you outside?
Yeah.
Alright, Sally. What, Dean just dropped you off?
Through front door?
Yeah, nobody's in, it's a dead empty house. Hola, buenos dias. You alright? I'm alright, yeah. Dean, have you got the gear?
Yeah, it's downstairs.
Alright, Dean, can you put the 6TB hard drive in the NVR, the 8 channel NVR, and then Jack, you can get on with helping me. Is that alright?
Yeah.
Cool. Go downstairs and feed us some more length on this if you don't mind.
Where's it fed from?
Go down and then if you go into
here?
this back room, yeah. the big bedroom. Hang on. Yeah, there's a couple there.
Feel right when you starting here at like 12 o'clock.
You just tape it on side,
Oh yeah, okay.
just side by side it, because you don't need to worry about it fitting for a tiny space, but the floor's massive.
Listen, Friday morning.
I didn't say anything though.
Felt like a day you thought.
When a house is undergoing renovations, it's a perfect time to install CCTV or Wi-Fi or internet into points of the house where it's weak, because while you've got all the flooring up and you've got the house stripped back to bare bones, it just makes perfect sense to run the cables in then. Best time to have this done is when the electrics is being first fixed and that the plasterboard hasn't been started being put on the walls. So just as you're getting first fix electrics all sorted, get your camera cables running, get your internet feeds running, so that way when it's all plastered and painted, even if you never use those cables, it's always great to have them and know that they're under the floor somewhere and you're not having to chase walls out in the future. We managed to get 2 of the camera cables run and 1 of the TV feeds run. I'm running on a really tight deadline today. The boys have really helped me out. Jack's come down and Dean's dropped off all the equipment so we can get finished and help us set up the recorder. So me and Jack are gonna crack on for the rest of the day and get this job boxed off. Right, I need spade bit, which is probably just inside my tool bag. Let's have a look.
It did not want to go through anymore.
I think it's just in wood. Let me try it. No?
Yeah, through.
Just mind your hands, don't put your hands in there. We had an absolute nightmare with the flooring in this bathroom. Not being helped by the fact that I had a completely blunt multi-tool blade and an even blunter circular saw blade. After what felt like forever trying to get this flooring up and a quick trip to our local screw fix for some more multi-tool blades, we eventually managed to get the first piece of this flooring up, and it brought even worse news.
5 minutes.
So the joints changed direction on us now. They were running that way, and now they're running that way. That's the old external house.
So it's been extended from here then?
Yeah, it's been extended from here to create this big bathroom and bigger kitchen downstairs. This meant I'd take up even more of the bathroom floor than I first anticipated, costing me even more time on a job I was already late on. So it's now Monday morning. We didn't get finished on that Friday. I started way too late to get finished. Luckily me and Jack managed to cut some holes into the ceiling downstairs. Obviously all this house has been replastered, so it really doesn't matter what mess we make right now. Just getting the cables in is the priority. So we've cut some holes in the ceiling, dropped the cables down from above because it just saves working in that bathroom space upstairs because it's just so tight, and the flooring's now a bit of a jigsaw puzzle for us to put back down. But at least we've got the wires first fixed, the holes can be drilled outside, cameras mounted, and everything hopefully will get finished today. Let's get cracking on. So this customer's actually specifically asked not to use the bases that come with these. Well, they don't come with them, you buy them extra. So in theory, that base would mount to the wall like that, minus that little neck, because that comes off. And then the cable would all coil into the back of the back box, like so, and you would have something like that. So you can see how deep that is on the wall. Now what he wanted was, he wanted him as slimline as possible, so we're going to drill a bigger hole for each camera, feed the cable, feed this pigtail cable into the wall so that we can mount this pretty much flush. The good thing about these newer style colour views and hybrids is that you can coil the cable in the back of the base more than you used to be able to. So it is going to allow us to sit that on there. Just got to be conscious there's a waterproof connector going on all the cameras. So I've got a 22mm bit. I've bored out most of the holes for the cameras so that we can push that connector back into the wall. As with all of our installs, once the cables are run, it's just a case of rinse and repeat the process. Mount the camera base, terminate the camera, and then mount the camera to its base. Once all the cameras are done outside, move inside, upstairs into the loft, and get all of the 4 connectors for the cameras all terminated. You could test at this point if you really wanted to, but we don't. If I plug a camera in and it works, I know that the cable's okay. And finally, just set up the recorder however the customer wants it. You'll notice that the recorder's sat on a piece of plasterboard, but this loft will change massively as the customer renovates this house. There'll be shelving and sockets and all sorts put in that loft. So that's it all sorted. Flooring's back down, cables have been run, cameras are terminated, and the recorder's in the loft. That's the best time to install CCTV, is when you're undergoing house renovations or you're having work that includes plastering, so that you can get first fix electrics and cameras and internet and anything else that you need buried in the walls. If you have, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.